Part 177. The Pentium Era, South to North. Author, Mei-Shi Niang. Chapter 1762. Lu Ligan planted 2 rows of trees on both sides of the stairs leading to the top of the embankment. This way, when guests climb up and down, they will not be exposed to the sun in summer, and the cold wind and rain in the mountain valley will not touch their hands in winter. All the umbrellas were thrown away, and the wind and rain liked to stick to the slope of the embankment, blowing hard like a gangster. Lu Ligan gave this ladder a name, called Lose Weight Road. For people with a big belly, this is indeed a challenge. With the encouragement of relatives and friends, they will try to climb up step by step, and finally get there. He crawled out of shape. More fat people are unwilling to take this weight loss path. Many thin people are even lazier than fat people, and they reject this weight loss path more confidently. Lu Ligan installed an escalator on the edge of the stairs. The outside of the escalator is an arched transparent cover. No one in Ningyuan has ever seen an escalator more than 20 meters long. Just for this escalator, many people you must also come here to have a look. After looking at it, you found other interesting projects. In the courtyard on top of the embankment, the walls with the words "Grasp the Revolution and Promote Production and Prepare for War and Prepare for Famine for the People" were demolished. The 2 buildings inside were also demolished. The workers of the power plant moved to the dormitories below. The Poles built 2 buildings here, no, 3 buildings. With its back against the ridge behind, the long row of 3 floors is a hotel. The hotel has 42 rooms and a conference room, which Lu Ligan said is used for meetings and trainings of various units. In front of the hotel is a garden, separated from the hotel by a garden, and next to the reservoir is a 3-story, actually 5-story house. Half of the house is built on the embankment, going down the slope of the embankment. It has 2 floors. The first floor is almost close to the water, so the house is actually 5 floors. The side of the house facing the water is a large arc, all made of glass. This house is the fish restaurant, Lu Ligan said. Walking further from the fish restaurant, there is a row of cages. The fish, shrimp, and crabs caught by the fishing team from the reservoir every day are put into different cages according to different species. Even the fish ponds are omitted, and the fish and shrimps they thought they were just letting them stay in another room, not knowing that this was their execution chamber. For diners, they see the freshest fish and shrimp here and can choose according to their own preferences. There is a huge gap between the inside and outside of the reservoir. The top of the outside dam is more than 20 meters high from the bottom of the dam. The water surface inside is only more than 5 meters high from the top of the dam. During the flood season, when the water level is the highest, the first floor of the fish restaurant will be soaked. In the water, although the water can't come in, the business on the first floor is definitely stopped. From the edge of the fish restaurant, there is a step down to the place above the water. This is their bathing place, playground, and pier. On the top of the embankment, on the sharp corner closest to the mountains and rivers, there is a 3-story villa. This house looks mysterious to outsiders. It is unknown what it is used for. All the employees of Hongling Yujiali know it. That was the palace of Lu Ligan and Wen Wenqian. Datake said it was the couple's room. The first floor is the office of the 3 of them. Sometimes, they still work here seriously, find people to hold meetings and so on. The second floor is their living room and entertainment room. Outside the living room is a terrace, and the entire terrace is surrounded by grapevines, except for the human figures on the terrace that can be seen from the water. The scene inside the terrace cannot be seen from other directions. The third floor is their bedroom. Although they don't live here much, Wen and Qian mostly stay in the town during the day, guarding their supermarket. Most of the time, Lu is the only one in this house. Stand alone. Lu Ligan goes to Hongling farmhouse every day and looks around, chatting with people and talking about things. What he likes to do most is to lie on the terrace and look at the vast water outside. I don't know if Lou Ligon would have 4 girls who graduated from Peking University surrounding him at this time, and he was dictating the ideas for his memoirs. However, when Big Brain, Wu Rongui, and Lao Wei wanted to talk about something, they all knew to come to Lou Ligon on this terrace. There is a road built on the side of the fish restaurant near the mountain. This road is parallel to the water. Lou Ligon's ultimate goal is to build it into a road around the reservoir. Now 1/3 of it has been built. The roadside there are houseboats arranged at random. The so-called houseboats are wooden houses suspended on the water, like the stilt houses in Phoenix. The roof of the house is arched, similar to the roof of an awning boat. It is really made of bamboo strips and bamboo rafts. Made of woven leaves, it really looks like a boat canopy. On the side facing the water, there is a wooden balcony. Sitting on the balcony, you can play mahjong or chat, all feeling relaxed and happy. These houseboats, as Lou Ligon said, are for men and women who go on dates or have concubines. They became very popular as soon as they were launched. They need to be booked 10 days and a half in advance. Many people stay here for 10 and a half days. Moon. 12 houseboats have been built. His plan is to build them along the road around the reservoir and eventually fill the entire reservoir. There should be more than 70 houseboats in total. There are also sewage pipes built together with the road around the reservoir. The domestic sewage in the boathouse is connected along this pipe, over the top of the dam, to the foot of the dam, and settles in the sewage pool below the parking lot. After being purified, it is discharged into the river outside. Each houseboat has a septic tank, and what is collected from the septic tank is sent to the other end of the dam, where there is a vegetable garden where they grow organic vegetables and supply them to the fish restaurant. People who have lived here for a long time may have experienced the whole cycle process, that is, they ate at the fish restaurant, then sat on the toilet in the boathouse, looked at the water outside, thought about life and excretion, and excreted. I went to the vegetable garden and watered the plump organic vegetables. These vegetables entered my body again at the fish restaurant. As the number of projects increased, there were indeed not enough workers here. However, the power plant still could not use so many people. It was streamlined step by step, and finally reduced to only 4 workers. Daituke is now the general manager of Hongling Farmhouse, and Wu Rongui is the deputy general manager. Hongling Power Plant has ceased to exist in name only, with only 1 hydropower team left. Of course they were unwilling to ask those idle plumbers to do other jobs. Lou Ligon helped Guanbei and the others come up with a way. He said that everyone is motivated and has a sense of honor. Their attention is directed to this, which is obviously the diversion of redundant personnel, but you can't say it is diversion. Diversion is a word that hurts people's self-esteem. What do you want to say? Big Brain asked. Promote, Lou Ligon said. If you promote them, none of them will go away happily. Therefore, 2 plumbers were promoted to the maintenance team as deputy captains, leading a group of newly recruited maintenance team members. The so-called maintenance team members were actually responsible for sanitation. They were responsible for the sanitation at the top and bottom of the slope. Maintenance, including the cleaning of each septic tank, is also their responsibility on a regular basis. The captain and deputy captain felt that they had a heavy responsibility and took up the post happily. There is also a plumber who was promoted to the captain of the fishing team. The fishing team is responsible for catching fish and shrimps in the reservoir every day and delivering them to the row of cages. They also have to catch garbage on the entire water surface, especially those from the boathouse. Strange things are thrown out. No matter where they live, some people are still used to throwing things out of the window or balcony. There is also a plumber who was promoted to the leader of the planting team, responsible for planting vegetables in the vegetable garden and maintaining the flowers, plants, and trees in the entire unit. 2 others were promoted to captains and deputy captains of the security team. As a result, the original workers of Hongling Power Plant were not promoted enough. Although the Hongling Power Plant exists in name only, and although the number of people has only been reduced to 4, its efficiency has increased. The turbines are spinning, bringing them hundreds of thousands of income every month. The business of the fish restaurant is even more booming. Not only people from Ningyuan County come here to treat guests to dinner, but also many people from Quanzhou and Yangzhou cities also regard this place as a stronghold. On weekends, many people drive their cars on the road. After walking for more than an hour, the men and women ate at the fish restaurant, rented hotel rooms or houseboats, and continued to play mahjong all night long. Next to the Hongling Reservoir, at night, not only the sound of cannons is rumbling, but the sound of mahjong is also rumbling. This is really an era of singing and dancing. Lu Ligan has been working hard at the Hongling Reservoir for more than 2 years. He feels that he really has the same energy as the Dazai people who fought against the wolf's nest. He looked at the lights reflected in the water and even the lights on the dam. At night, there were still people coming and going, and he felt a sense of accomplishment. He felt that he had really changed the old appearance of this place into a new one. That's enough, Lu Ligan told himself. Next, in addition to continuing to let the road around the reservoir spread forward and letting the houseboats grow one by one like melons on both sides of the road, he should pay more attention to the water wheel. The generator took action. Lu Ligan sat up from the recliner. Wenwen slapped the newspaper in her hand on his chest and said to him, "Look by Yuzulf." Lu Ligan opened the newspaper and read it. He was surprised when he saw the advertisement looking for Lu Ligan, but he immediately threw the newspaper aside and said lightly, "Look at the fart. Is the Lu Ligan they are looking for you?" "Who is this Tan?" Qian asked. "It's none of my business. There are probably more than 10,000 people named Lu Ligan in the country, they just have the same name." Lu Ligan said with a smile, "I am a refugee, who would spend so much money to advertise looking for me? You guys come here with a wanted warrant, maybe it's more like looking for me." "It's really not you," Wenwen looked at Lu Ligan and asked. Lu Ligan said no. "Why, you hope so?" Wenwen and Qian both sighed, and Wenwen said, "We were just worried that you would leave without saying goodbye." When Wenwen said this, her eyes were a little red, and Lu Ligan smiled and said, "Worrying too much, of course I won't leave. Come on, we can come to the Panjinlian upside-down grape tray." Wenwen smiled, leaned down, and wanted to kiss Lu Ligan. A figure flashed in, and Wenwen quickly straightened up. Wu Rongui came over and said to Lu Ligan, "The people from Shaoyang are here." Lu Ligan stood up and said, "Let's go." "People from Shaoyang? What are the people from Shaoyang doing here?" Qian asked. Wu Rongui said, "Making hydraulic turbines and generators." Lu Ligan looked at Wenwen and Qian and said, "It's time for the golden chicken that has been raised for so long to lay eggs." Wenwen and Qian understood, and they both laughed. "Thank you for the monthly votes from Jumping Rope Pig, Kiji, Dragon, Xiaosheng Year 48, No Future, Just Remember the Original Intention, The Chair in the World, Taizongshang 1, Lao Huang, and Dong Long Dong. Thanks for all the votes and reading. Have a good evening everyone." The Pentium Era, South to North. Author, Mei Shi Niang. Chapter 1763. More than half a month has passed since the advertisement looking for Lu Ligan was sent out, and it is still quiet. This advertisement is like a pebble thrown into water. It stirs up a wave at first, and then ripples on the internet. Spread, now, even the ripples on the internet have disappeared, no one is interested in talking about it anymore, and it has been completely forgotten by the internet. While the internet accelerates the spread of news, it also accelerates the death cycle of every event. No matter how big an event is, it is difficult to maintain its popularity online for a month. When people browse the screens of computers and mobile phones, they are sensitive to the same event. And curiosity will quickly dull and numb. After Zhang Chen's office was temporarily moved to the Sky City E-commerce Industrial Park, his office was no longer a convenient place for everyone to sit and chat when passing by. This point was transferred to Tan Shehen and Lao Tan. They are here. Now, when Xiaofang is in Hangzhou, Zhang Chen will send Xiaofang to work at the Zhenshui tea house every day, and then go to Tan Shehen and Lao Tan. Lao Tan is helping him with several projects at the same time. You can also chat with Lao Tan about engineering matters. After becoming a family with Xiaofang, Zhang Chen and Xiaofang rarely went to each other's offices. They felt that going to each other's offices would destroy the atmosphere of the office and make no distinction between public and private affairs, so Zhang Chen sent Xiaofang to Fang went to the downstairs of Zhenshui tea house and did not go up. Instead, she said goodbye to Xiaofang downstairs. After Xiaofang's belly grew bigger, Zhang Chen would take her a step further and send her upstairs, ask her to sit down, pour her a glass of water, and then run away without staying, as if he was afraid of being attacked by Xiaofang's clients. It seemed like my colleagues saw it. When Xiaofang went to Shanghai, the two old ladies also insisted on following her. Xiaofang didn't say anything, but she couldn't laugh or cry in her heart. She had no choice but to reduce the number of times she went to Shanghai. The bigger her belly was, the less she went to Shanghai. Just stay in Hangzhou. She couldn't stay home either. At home, the two old ladies would surround her almost all day long, caring for her meticulously and asking questions. Xiaofang couldn't even work at all. It was a little better at the Pillow Tea House. Only at noon, he would come to deliver food to Xiaofang, and again around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. In the eyes of the two old ladies, no matter how big the world is, it is not as big as the child in Xiaofang's belly. Fortunately, Zhang Chen's mother was a model worker when she was young and was a March 8th red flag bearer. In her opinion, here, I still think that work is a very important thing. When Xiaofang was very busy and the two old ladies were sitting there with no intention of leaving, Xiaofang would act like a baby and say to her mother, "I'm very busy. If I don't hurry up, I won't be able to get home on time for dinner." This was actually meant for Zhang Chen's mother, because every time at this time, Xiaofang's mother was still very slow. She would look at Xiaofang, not knowing what she was talking about. Zhang Chen's mother immediately woke up and stood up. Get up and go to Xiaofang's mother and say to her, work is important, let's go, don't delay Xiaofang here." Xiaofang's mother then stood up with an oh sound. The two of them continued to tell Xiaofang to pay attention to this and that, and walked out. Xiaofang looked at their backs, pursed her lips and smiled, feeling sweet in her heart. When listening to the two old ladies walking to the first floor and saying "see you later" to the waiter, Xiaofang shook her head and then started to work. Xiaofang basically stayed in Hangzhou. Fortunately, now she has Lu Qing. Lu Qing is stationed in the Shanghai company. If there is anything important, she will drive to Hangzhou to discuss with Xiaofang. She not only travels between Hangzhou and Shanghai, even when Xiaofang originally wanted to go abroad, Lu Qing went there instead of her. The clients knew that Xiaofang was pregnant and it was inconvenient to travel, so they were very considerate. Sometimes, Xiaofang really feels that thanks to God's help, Lu Qing resigned at the most critical moment of her pregnancy, otherwise, she would really be at a loss now. The expansion of Linshuwen Lingying Foreign Language School in China is progressing smoothly. On the one hand, because Linshuwen is a Taiwanese compatriot, the Taiwan Federation in various places is very helpful. The second is the connections Lu Qing established with local TV stations when she was at CCTV. Each TV station always has one or two very bad reporters. It has direct access to the highest level of the local area. With their help, it is much more convenient. Although Lu Qing has never used the name Lu Chengcheng, she is Lu Chengcheng's daughter. This is an objective fact. The reporters she contacted know that, and the highest level of the place where the reporters contacted also knows, and no one will deliberately blame her for it. She opened the door for convenience, but still gave a lot of face and took care of a lot. Just like that time when she and Tan Shahan went to have a dinner with the director of the Hangzhou Planning Bureau because of the renovation of Zhang Chen's Dynamic Zone project. When they met, everyone had a tacit understanding. If she hadn't had this special status, Lu Qing would have. When I was in Zhang Chen's office, I didn't have the confidence to say that I would go for you. Lu Qing will not deliberately avoid the fact that she is Lu Qing's daughter, but she strictly abides by not using her father's name to say to the other party, "You help me," and she also does not do anything for her own personal gain, do not do things that will make the other party make mistakes, and after doing this, Lu Qing feels that she has a clear conscience, and feels that she is much prettier than some people. Lu Qing is very similar to Xiaofang in this regard. They have a common comment on some of Xiaofang's former colleagues, that is, people who look too ugly when eating and eating will sooner or later vomit them all out. When working in this society, whether at home or abroad, the most reliable thing is your own ability. Zhang Chen sent Xiaofang to the downstairs of Pillow Tea House, and happened to meet Lu Qing, who was also there. Zhang Chen asked Lu Qing, "When did you come?" Lu Qing said, "Last night." Lu Qing then said to Zhang Chen, "Okay, your mission as a flower protector has been completed. Leave your big belly to me." Xiaofang also smiled with Zhang Chen and said, "Let's go." Zhang Chen said yes. He walked out for a few dozen meters. When he looked back, he saw Xiaofang and Lu Qing. They did not go upstairs, but stood at the door of the tea house chatting. Zhang Chen walked out for about 100 meters and turned back. Looking again, I found that the two of them not only did not go upstairs, but had already left the entrance of the tea house, heading in the opposite direction to Zhang Chen, walking and chatting by the Meisi River. Zhang Chen felt something in his heart. He also felt that it was great to have Lu Qing around. I don't know why. Zhang Chen always felt that when Lu Qing was with Xiaofang, he felt at ease. This is probably like Lu Changchen knowing that Lu Qing I would feel at ease with them. Although Zhang Chen didn't have much contact with Lu Changchen, and they didn't even exchange polite greetings on the phone during the holidays, they both felt that they understood each other very well. Lu Changchen knew that Zhang Chen, the boss, would not do anything unreasonable, and Zhang Chen seemed to know the same. Knowing that although Lu Qing is a disciple of a high-ranking official, she can rest assured because she is Lu Qing's daughter. Zhang Chen arrived at the parking lot, drove to Qiaxi Academy, walked into Tan Shahan's office, and asked, "Any news?" Tan Shahan shook her head, and Zhang Chen scolded, "This bastard must have seen this advertisement. It seems that he has made up his mind not to come forward. I don't know what he is thinking. Ignore him, let's save another person who has gone crazy," Tan Shahan said. "Who?" Zhang Chen asked. "Your son. Zhang Xiangbei." Tan Shahan smiled and said, "You have several sons, of course it is him." "What happened to him?" Zhang Chen asked curiously. "Isn't he in Yongcheng, in the troop, following Xiang Nan?" "They are no longer in the troop. The troop is on vacation for half a month, allowing everyone to take their children and go on tours. Everyone has worked hard in the first half of this year. Besides, if the people in the troop could afford to travel in the past few years, they would go on tours in other places. It's time to travel." As Tan Shahan spoke, Zhang Chen kept nodding. He said it was a good thing. Xiangnan did the right thing. Should the regiment still subsidize travel expenses? It has already been subsidized, a travel subsidy of 4,000 per person. Xiaohu and his Fubon Financial Holdings Foundation rewarded it. It is said that the art groups they sponsor in mainland China frequently receive the highest awards. They also treat their foundation with subsidizes. Matter. Then what does this have to do with Zhang Xiangbei? Zhang Chen asked curiously. It doesn't matter. I'm not just telling you this by the way. Do you know where Bai and Nanan have gone? Tan Shahan asked. Going on a trip too? No, they went to the countryside below to participate in the double robbery and help other farmers plant rice, Tan Shahan said. Zhang Chen laughed loudly. Isn't this great? Children can make trouble for themselves, so what do we have to worry about? What hardships are there? Can they endure such hardships? Tan Shahan said. Yesterday, a few people were curious and went to plant rice seedlings. Before noon, Zheng Xingxin and Zhou Ruyi suffered from heat stroke, and fatty sun fell on the ridge of the field. In the shade of the trees, I refused to get up even if I said anything. Nanan probably rehearses a lot in the summer and can still resist the heat. Where is Zhang Xiangbei? Zhang Chen asked quickly. Didn't you say that he was possessed by evil? The more he worked, the happier he became. Even the farmers admired him, Tan Shahan said. I'm surprised, Zhang Chen, your family is not from a peasant background. Why is this one facing the north? Do you like this? Those who are farmers will not like this. Amateurs are scary, Zhang Chen said with a smile. You have forgotten that our family has 2 land reclamation warriors. Tan Shahan slapped her forehead with her hand and shouted, Okay, I forgot about this. Not only are there 2 land reclamation warriors, but there is also a grandma who is a March 8th red flag bearer, and a grandma who lives in a villa and also wants to go out to be a stick, Zhang Chen said proudly. Our family is a working people through and through. Let me tell you, Zhang Xiangbei had a large vegetable plot at Yale University, and he led a group of people with various skin types to grow vegetables. One of their professors is also a Nobel Prize winner in economics. He is also very interested in their work. He not only grows vegetables with them, but also plans to open a vegetable economics course. Then why should he go to the United States to study? Let him come back, and I will help him find a piece of land and become a farmer directly, Tan Shahan said. Don't go so far, just think about what to do today. What happened today? Zhang Chen asked. Today, Zhou Ruyi, Zheng Xingxin and Fatty Sun have already laid down and cannot move. Nanan doesn't want to go anymore. As a result, Bai Bei still insists on going. Then let him go. Let him go? I don't care if he goes alone. The problem is Nanan. You still don't know Nanan's temper. She is in the North bar with you. If Bai Bei wants to go, she will go too. The 2 of them are probably already in the sweat-dropping soil now. What are you afraid of? Why don't you just plant a seedling? It's not a bad thing, Zhang Chen said. Isn't it a bad thing? Tan Shahan was annoyed and scolded. Of course your Bai Bei is fine. Anyway, no matter how tanned he is, when he goes back to the United States, there will be someone darker than him in the class. What do you want Nanan to do? This summer in the past, when she went on stage to play Do Er Dun, she didn't even need to put on makeup. Zhang Chen laughed loudly and said, Then what can I do? Or, the 2 of us can go over and take their place now. Get out, Tan Shahan cursed. Zhang Chen stood up and said, Okay, I'll go to Big Brother's place. When Zhang Chen walked to the door, Tan Shahan shouted, Come back, come back. What are you doing? What else is there to say? Zhang Chen turned around and asked. Let's have dinner together tonight, let Xiaofang go too, Tan Shahan said. Looking up and seeing Zhang Chen looking at her doubtfully, she added. Old Qiao will come in the afternoon. Zhang Chen said yes. Xiaofang has already done several projects with Mr. Qiao from Shenzhen Angzhen Trust. She is more familiar with Mr. Qiao than Zhang Chen. Xiaofang always tells Mr. Qiao that he is her first teacher in finance. Mr. Qiao was surprised when he heard this. Xiaofang talked about the meal they had together many years ago. It was that meal that made her interested in finance. She felt that finance was the same as chemistry. There are endless mysteries and changes inside. Thank you Yuangzi, Quadratic VC, and 2 fish for the rewards. Thank you for your monthly votes of no future, only remember the original intention, Zizhiw, QTDJB, Ju 11, Mingzin, forgot password and new coming, Yuangzi, Tianwei, Zongkai 727, Hwater and Youth, Book Friends 20181124183423523518. Thanks for all the recommendations and reading. I wish you all good health. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The Pentium Era, South to North. Author, Mei Shi Niang. Chapter 1764. Mr. Chiao from Shenzhen Angzhen Trust Co., Limited came to Hangzhou this time because Tan Shahen and her company Splendid China are planning to spin off the property management business and list it separately on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange in the name of Splendid Services. After 2011, the real estate industry in mainland China has almost become an industry that even a fool can do it. As long as you have money and can photograph land, it doesn't matter where the land is, even if it is in a town under a county. A township, as long as you can build houses and write a wave of copywriting, people will buy them. The remote location would have been a fatal flaw in the past, but now it can be packaged into a selling point with just the words unrestricted purchase. Real estate developers seem to have withdrawn from this industry and have been reduced to a role of simply building houses. In this industry, they have become insignificant pawns. You no longer have the right to sell your house to anyone. How dare you call yourself a real estate developer? Business. The game in the real estate industry has become a game between local governments, home buyers, and intermediaries. As long as you don't restrict purchases, home buyers and intermediaries can drive up the housing prices in a place. Purchase restrictions are in place in many coastal provinces. City has reached the county level. Of course, the central government cannot ignore the fierce housing prices in various places. It cannot let all funds flow into the big river of real estate like a trickle. It cannot let real estate crowd out all other real enterprises. The central government has repeatedly issued orders and warnings to local governments to control housing prices. Our houses are for living in, not for speculation. But the local government hopes from the bottom of its heart that house prices will rise. When house prices go up, land prices will go up. Selling land will make money faster for whatever you do. Purchase restrictions in every city seem to have become the last line of defense and tool to control the rise in housing prices. Even the central bank's financial measures seem to have failed in the real estate industry. There are too many channels for money. Real estate developers, especially it's those real estate giants who don't care about macro control policies at all. Tan Shahen lamented that real estate is becoming less and less technical now. In the capital market, the public pays less and less attention to real estate companies. Everyone knows whether you make money or not, and how much money you can make. You have already decided and can't control it. Tan Shahen and Zhang Chen smiled bitterly. It's really like this. If the purchase restrictions are relaxed, I can guarantee that I can sell all my houses in a week. If that happens, I will quit this boring real estate world and quit. It's really not interesting. In the capital market, real estate companies have fallen out of favor, as reflected in the stock price, which has always been tepid. The difficulty and threshold for additional issuance are getting higher and higher. But on the other hand, it is possible to obtain land at a low price like the past few years. Sex is gone. Even fools already know that land is one of the most valuable things. How can you still pick up cheap land? Unfortunately, even for a piece of land in a county, a few former private real estate giants will fight to death. The good news of local government attracting investment and inviting them to invest has quickly become a waste of time. Years passed. The skyrocketing land prices have meant that they need more and more funds to acquire land. The expansion of sales cannot keep up with the increase in demand for funds. Tan Shahen said that she feels that the more she does, the poorer she becomes, and the more she does, the more dangerous she becomes. The critical point is approaching, and now they need to rely on the continuous expansion of scale to ensure their profit growth and ensure the beauty of their annual reports. Since it has become increasingly difficult to issue additional shares, Lao Chiao helped them think of it and packaged it into a listed company. In this way, the relatively independent property management company was separated. Dinner was booked at the Tuxian Jiayuan Hotel on Yan'an Road. When Zhang Chen, Tan Shahen, and Xiao Fang arrived, the driver had just dropped off Lao Chiao. The plane was delayed, so Lao Chiao arrived here directly from the airport. Seeing Xiao Fang, Lao Chiao happily told her, the Ningbo company, Hengli Electronics, has finalized its listing in Hong Kong. A large force will be there next week. Great, then I'll let Mr. Li and the others prepare, Xiao Fang said. I have already called Mr. Li, but you should explain it again. There are some things that I am not comfortable saying because you are shareholders, but you can say it, Lao Chiao said. Mr. Li also believes in you. Xiao Fang said yes. By the way, when you decide on your itinerary, just let me know and I'll send someone here in advance. Old Chiao said yes. Lao Chiao looked at Zhang Chen and kept laughing. Zhang Chen asked him, why are you laughing? You're fat, Old Chiao said. Zhang Chen said, no, my weight seems to have not changed for several years. That means he looks fat, Old Chiao said. Zhang Chen couldn't help laughing and asked, is there any fat that looks fat? It's true, Old Chiao said, you seem to be relaxed now. It turns out that here. As he spoke, Lao Chiao pointed at the center of his eyebrows with his finger, and continued, it used to be tight here, and there was always a gloomy air, but it's gone now. This means that Zhang Chen's eyebrows are now relaxed, and Tan Shahen said, it's true, when you said it, Lao Chiao, I also remembered it. It's all thanks to you, Lao Chiao said to Xiao Fang. Xiao Fang smiled, and Tan Shahen shouted. Old Chiao, what you said is really right, isn't it, Zhang Chen? Zhang Chen chuckled. Then, talking about the listing of Jinxiu service, Lao Chiao and Tan Shahen said, all the conditions are met. Now the sponsor has raised a question. I am here to discuss this matter with you. Lao Chiao knew that the relationship between Tan Shahen and Zhang Chen had reached the point where they could talk about anything and everything, both official and private. So even though he and Tan Shahen should have talked about things privately, he had spoken out. From another perspective, he also hopes that Xiao Fang can help him persuade Tan Shahen. Based on his understanding of Tan Shahen, this is a trivial matter in the eyes of the sponsor, but when it comes to Tan Shahen, it will become a big deal. What's the problem? Tan Shahen asked. They have different views on the composition of the company's management team, Lao Chiao said. What do you mean? Tan Shahen asked. Lao Chiao hesitated, thinking about the right words. They should have some objections to Sister Gi Hua, is that right, Mr. Chiao? Xiao Fang said from the side. Lao Chiao nodded and said yes, the general manager of the company is a junior high school graduate. They think it doesn't look good. What does this mean? Tan Shahen asked. You can't be the general manager of a listed company after graduating from junior high school. I still don't even have a junior high school diploma. You have a master's degree from Zhejiang University, Lao Chiao said. My master's degree is a parallel import. To put it bluntly, I bought it with money. It's an MBA or a master's degree in business administration. I haven't even passed a serious examination. Old Chiao, don't you know the value of this master's degree? I myself outside, people are never embarrassed to say that I have a master's degree from Zhejiang University, Tan Shahen said. It's different, Sister Shahen. In the capital market, we only look at superficial articles, from reports to management team information. As long as you look good on the surface, they don't care about the substance behind you. They only want you to be a master's degree from Zhejiang University. These 4 words don't care where you got your master's degree, Xiaofang said. Lao Jiao nodded and said, yes, that's what Xiaofang said. All they need is that you have people standing on the stage during the road show and a bright list that can attract investors. Then what do they mean? Tan Shahen asked. What they mean is, can they change someone, even if they hold shares on behalf of others? I'm thinking that there can be a temporary solution. Can we make this Yu Gihua not appear on the list of the management team for the time being? Here, let's go on the market first, and then change it after it goes on the market. By then, no one will pay attention to it. You mean, first find a puppet with a beautiful academic background, hold shares on behalf of Sister Gihua, and serve as the general manager of Jingxiu service on her behalf, right? Tan Shahen asked Lao Jiao. Lao Jiao nodded and said, that's understandable. Then our Jingxiu service management team is just like a theater troupe, and the general manager is just a temporary substitute, Tan Shahen said with a smile. I think this can also be called a strategic detour, Lao Jiao said. In order to go public, everyone does not use any means. Ours is just a small adjustment. Tan Shahen shook her head. She looked at Lao Jiao and said, Mr. Jiao, I know you mean well, but there is one question you have thought about. What's the problem? Lao Jiao asked. Do you know what this means to Sister Gihua? Tan Shahen asked. Lao Jiao looked at her and said nothing. This is an insult, Tan Shahen said. Mr. Jiao, although I want to go public, I will not allow any person or organization to do such an insult to someone's personality, especially if the person being insulted is ours. A very good manager, I will not allow such a thing to happen, Mr. Jiao, even if splendid service will never be launched on the market. After Tan Shahen finished speaking, there was silence in the box, a deathly silence. Tan Shahen's face was pale and her brows were slightly frowned. Xiaofang stretched out her hand and held Tan Shahen's hand. Thank you, Tin Soldier, for reading the book every day and for the reward at 3 o'clock in the middle of the night. Thank you for your monthly votes to Wat Zibing, Lao Chantang, Xiaoshen Nian 48, Pai Wuzun, Zi Zheng said, very attentive 333, big guy, don't see a future but only remember the original intention, Zipanjiang 1, Gongzimian Z, Book Friends 2020091116010975. All the votes and reading. Have a good evening everyone. The Pentium Era, South to North. Author, Mei Shi Niang. Chapter 1765. I can't understand, I'm not convinced, and I feel even more aggrieved by Yu Gihua. Tan Shahen said, getting a little excited. Why is it that a person who is honest and thinks about how to do his job well every day deserves to be discriminated against just because he doesn't have those bells and whistles? I'm not looking down on highly educated people. But I feel that, after all, regardless of academic level, it still depends on a person's actual ability, right? We are a service-oriented unit, and our responsibility is to serve our owners. We don't look at how hard this person works to do her job, or how many praises she has won from the owners, but she must go considering her academic qualifications. Is that fair? She's not a tutor for the owner's children. Actually, it's nothing. It's easy to understand. Honest people suffer because the rules of this world are set by dishonest people. Zhang Chen suddenly said this, and everyone laughed. This smile relaxed the tense atmosphere at the dinner table. Zhang Chen and Lao Jiao said, it seems that I was right not to go public. Going public would be humiliating myself. I haven't even graduated from junior high school. You are different. You are an entrepreneur. There are many entrepreneurs like you. After you succeed in starting a business, you don't need a diploma, Lao Jiao said. Yu Gihua is a senior executive. Everyone knows senior executives. It's still different. No matter how low the education level of an entrepreneur is, he can still hire good managers. If the executives themselves have low education levels, it's best to have a doctorate who has returned from overseas, like Xiaofang, right? Tan Shahen asked. Lao Jiao smiled and said, the sponsor really asked for it. Among our owners, some are returned PhDs, university professors, and even academicians. Why don't you listen to their evaluation of our property management? They are very positive about Sister Gihua's work. Tan Shahen said, since Sister Gihua became the general manager of our splendid China property management company, the complaints from owners have been declining year by year, and many newly opened communities still maintain a record of 0 complaints. In turn, we receive more and more praises and compliments from property owners. I'm not bragging. If we did a property satisfaction survey among property owners in all communities across the country, our splendid China property management company's ranking would be at least he will be among the top 3 in the country. This is also the reason why many old customers want to follow us in splendid China and buy wherever our houses are built. This cannot be achieved just by having the title of a returned doctor. I can prove this. I am also one of the owners, Xiaofang said. Not to mention anything else, the neighborly plan they launched is very unique, very warm, and the effect is very good. Good neighbor plan? What does it mean? Lao Jiao asked. That is, they will do a survey and then tell you what your neighbors on the left and right and upstairs and downstairs are like, and what their work and rest times are. In this way, you will try to pay attention to your movements to see if they will affect others. In the beginning, you think they are being meddlesome, but then you think that your neighbors are taking care of you in this way, and you feel calm and restrain yourself. Also, they will also tell you the approximate time of day there will be people in these people's homes. If you encounter any emergency, you can not only ask the property management for help, but also ask your neighbors for help, one by one. Little things like this will make people feel that you are not alone when you live there, and that you live in this community as if you are living in a big family. Xiaofang said. Lao Jiao kept nodding. The most popular thing among owners is the happy decoration plan we launched, Tan Shahen said. Our owners are basically local middle and high-income families. They have very high requirements for decoration, especially the environmental protection requirements for decoration materials and quality requirements are very high. Our property management company, taking advantage of our huge number of property owners across the country and their needs, negotiated with domestic and foreign brands of decoration materials, kitchen and bathroom equipment suppliers, and household appliances suppliers one by one, and established a happy decoration company. There are more than 200 suppliers in the planned list, who are recommended to our owners who want to renovate. In this way, we can prevent decoration companies from substandard goods or even using fake and shoddy decoration materials. In addition, all our owners who purchase products from these brands' agents across the country with their property certificates or rental contracts will enjoy the benefits. The 8.5% discount also saves the owners a lot of money. The most important thing is that we haven't received a dime of benefit from it. Would a returned doctor be willing to do such a gratifying but laborious thing? Only our honest general manager would do such a thing. Something about that, right? There is this plan, it's really good. Why didn't I know about it? Xiaofang said. Tan Shahen looked at Zhang Chen with a smile, meaning, how could you know that the houses you live in are all already renovated? Lao Jiao shook his head and said with a wry smile. To be honest, I also hope that I can be the target of Yu Gihua's service, and I understand Mr. Tan that you want to protect her. But this is not to convince me, but to convince the sponsors and those who will buy the stock of Jinxiu Service institutional investors. This Xiaofang knows, all of them have their eyes turned upward and cannot see this. Lao Jiao looked at Tan Shahen and asked, Mr. Tan, is there no room for compromise? If this is the case, no, Tan Shahen said decisively. Okay, Lao Jiao sighed, then I can only try my best to convince the sponsor. As for whether to accept it or not, it is their business. Maybe there is another way, Xiao Fang said. What can we do? Lao Jiao asked. I am also their owner. I have a say in the property management company. I can write an article analyzing the unique service model of Jinxiu service and its profit expectations, and come up with persuasive data. I will post this article online. Sister Shahen, you can mobilize more owners to comment in the owner groups from various places. At the same time, I will also publish this article to Hong Kong's financial media. They are requesting articles from me every month. In this way, we are making everyone's positive evaluation of splendid service public to the world. Let their reputation become a definite fact. At that time, everyone will pay attention to what they have done. I even spend part of my article writing about the people who led them to achieve these achievements. In this way, everyone will care more about what they have done, rather than leading everyone to achieve so many achievements. What kind of people have graduated? Okay, this is a good idea, Lao Jiao shouted. Xiao Fang, I will also tell the sponsors what you said. I think they will be happy to see this. I will also take the initiative to find reporters and talk about Sister Gihua. Of course, I am not only from the perspective of the owner, but also from the perspective of an old acquaintance and old friend, Zhang Chen said. Not bad, Zhang Chen. You, who usually hide from reporters when you see them, actually ask for reporters now, Tan Shahen said with a smile. Of course, Sister Gihua means a lot to me and Xiao Zhao, Zhang Chen said. After Lao Jiao returned to Shenzhen, articles by Xiao Fang and Zhang Chen appeared in print media in mainland China and Hong Kong, as well as on the internet. Zhang Chen's simultaneous TV and text interview attracted many people on the internet, and everyone was talking about it. Xiao Fang's article, because of its solid theory and data, also attracted the attention of people in the industry. Some institutional investors, who did not know where they obtained the sponsors' information, called them to ask about the listing of Jinxiu service. The progress. With the rice hot in the pot, the reporters who had finished interviewing Zhang Chen turned around and interviewed Sister Gihua again. After the article was published online, there were countless comments and likes below. Some owners of Splendid China who knew and had dealings with Yu Gihua also wrote articles and posted them online. The following is also the case. Countless comments and likes. The Hangzhou city government seemed to be joining in the fun. It was at this time that it selected Yu Gihua as one of the top 10 most beautiful Hangzhou people, saying that they had made extraordinary contributions in ordinary positions and contributed to this beautiful city. Lao Jiao called Tan Shahen and said to her with a smile, "Okay, Mr. Tan, Yu Gihua's academic qualifications are not a problem. Thank you Zheng Ji and book friend 201812082250148886 for the reward. Thank you Zhang Yuan Y and book friend 2020091116010975 for your monthly votes. Thanks for all the votes and reading. I wish you all a happy life." The Pentium Era, South to North. Author, Mei Shi Niang. Chapter 1766. Zhang Xiangbei came back from Yongcheng. Everyone who saw him was shocked. Zhang Chen's mother and Xiao Zhao's mother almost shed tears. Zhang Xiangbei's whole body was shiny and shiny from the sun. The two of them stood there together. He was almost as dark as his grandfather. Xiaoshu's son Xiaoko saw him and asked, "Brother, why did you become black?" Xiao Fang felt heartbroken when she saw it. She beat Zhang Xiangbei with her hand and cursed, "What are you doing? Are you punishing yourself?" Zhang Xiangbei chuckled and said, it's okay, I'm just competing with my sister." Zhang Chen asked, "Which one of you won in the end?" "There is no winner or lose, all the rice seedlings have been planted, and neither of us has retreated," Zhang Xiangbei said. At this time, even Zhang Chen's mother came to beat Zhang Xiangbei. She said, "I'm going to die, have you made Nan Nan as sunburned as you?" Zhang Xiangbei said quickly, No, sister, she is amazing." She doesn't get tan, she just gets red. She just needs to sleep for a night and she will be fine. You will know when you see her later. Dinner was at Zhang Chen's mother's place. At about 5 o'clock, Tan Shahan came with Xiang Nan. When everyone saw Xiang Nan, she was still much darker than before, but not as obvious as Zhang Xiangbei. Tan Shahan looked at when he arrived at Zhang Xiangbei, he was also shocked. He said to Zhang Chen, "I was shocked when I saw Nanan getting so dark. Then when I saw Bai Bei." Zhang Chen smiled and said, "Do you find it comforting? Go, I'm not so vicious." "I almost want to cry," Tan Shahan said. "Me too," Xiaofang said. She looked at Zhang Chen and added, "My sister and I will file a complaint tonight." Zhang Chen said, it's okay, it's just a little darker, but it has been tempered, not to mention they asked for it. Besides, what does it matter if a boy is a little darker? I'm afraid he will grow up to be a fair and tender lady cavity." "Are you right?" Zhang Chen and the two reclamation warriors said that they were the most embarrassed people in the room. They were distressed, but they also felt that it was just planting a rice seedling. It was no big deal. Moreover, they were also worried that the old lady will point the finger at them. Sure enough, it was okay if Zhang Chen didn't say it. As soon as he did, his mother started to complain about his father, saying that it was all you who took the lead. "When he came back last year, Bai Bei followed us to the market every day. It was pretty good. You guys, what kind of vegetables should I take him to grow in that mountain dock?" Xiangnan comforted them and said, "Grandma, it's okay. How great is Zhang Xiangbei like this? He is so masculine that Zheng Xingxin and Zhou Ruyi are almost falling in love with him. Let Fat Sun be jealous to death and have no courage. Come down to the ground with us. After this summer vacation, Zhang Xiangbei will be a sophomore, Sun Xiangyang is a junior, Zheng Xingxin and Zhou Ruyi are both seniors. When Xiangnan comes back from Yongcheng this time, one is to send Zhang Xiangbei away, and the other is also to send off Zheng Xingxin." Zheng Xinying graduated from Tsinghua University in her senior year and is determined to go to the United States for graduate school. As soon as she graduates next year, she will go directly from Beijing to the United States. She will study at a language school in the United States throughout the summer and will not even have time to come back to Hangzhou. This summer vacation, Zhang Chen didn't see Xiaohua. He asked Xiang Nan, "Where is Xiaohua? I haven't seen him for several months." Xiang Nan's face blushed slightly and she said, "I don't care about him." Zhang Xiangbei said, "Brother Xiaohua's mother is not in good health, so now he not only has to take care of business in mainland China, but also in Southeast Asia. He should be in Indonesia today." Zhang Chen and Tan Shahan were both surprised when they heard that Miss Cai was in poor health. Tan Shahan asked, "Is it important?" "We don't know the specifics. We just heard that the doctor advised her not to fly anymore, so Xiaohua wants to go to Southeast Asia. It turns out that his mother often travels there," Zhang Xiangbei said. "You never told me." Tan Shahan glanced at Xiang Nan complainingly, and she stood up. Zhang Chen knew what she was going to do, and said to her, "Give my regards to Miss Cai." Tan Shahan nodded. After returning from the phone call, Tan Shahan and Zhang Chen said that she had a bad heart. She had just had a bypass surgery 2 months ago, and the doctor advised her to stay still and not move. Zhang Xiangbei stayed in Hangzhou for 2 days and was about to leave. This time, Zhang Chen and the others were refused delivery. Instead, they drove south and went to Pudong Airport with Zhou Ruyi, Zheng Xingxin, and Sun Xiangyang. It's autumn. When Zhang Chen sends Xiaofang to the pillow tea house every day, the path by the Meisi River is covered with a layer of fallen leaves. In the early morning, the cleaners have already cleaned it once, but only a few times apart. Hours later, another layer accumulated on the ground. Zhang Chen sent Xiaofang upstairs, sat down in the wicker chair, and stuffed a small cushion behind her. Xiaofang asked him, "What are you going to do today?" Zhang Chen said, "Let's go to the construction site of the dynamic zone first. Brother Tan is waiting for me there. Then we will go to the construction site of the Sky City together. Construction of the ground inside will begin today." After finishing speaking, Zhang Chen laughed to himself and said, "Why do I feel like a construction contractor now, running around the construction site every day?" Zhang Chen poured a glass of warm water for Xiaofang and brought it over. Xiaofang had already begun to urge him and said to him, "Let's go, dear, be careful on the construction site and wear a safety helmet, you know." Zhang Chen said he understood. Zhang Chen walked out and almost bumped into someone at the door. It was Zheng Huiyang. Zheng Huiyang shouted, "So considerate, Mr. Zhang, do you send Xiaofang to work every day?" "Why, when you were pregnant, didn't I give you a gift every day?" Zhang Chen said with a smile. "No, he was going to the construction site at dawn. When I got up, I didn't know where he was," Zheng Huiyang said. "So you can let him go?" Zhang Chen asked. Zheng Huiyang smiled and said, "But he will help me make breakfast. Besides, we were not so particular at that time. For 8 months, I still work overtime until midnight every day. Let's go, let's go." "Don't worry, I won't bully you your wives." "I'm still worried." Zhang Chen smiled and said, "Your teacher, Ma, is very arrogant now. Are you going to kill the gods and Buddhas to block the Buddhas and demons to slay the demons?" Zhang Chen walked out with a smile. Zheng Huiyang was stunned for a moment, then chased Zhang Chen's back and asked, "What do you mean?" Zhang Chen didn't turn around, just raised his hand, and he turned around at the entrance of the passage. Zheng Huiyang turned around and saw Xiaofang sitting there, staring at her and laughing. Zheng Huiyang said, "Why are you laughing?" Xiaofang said, "I was calculating when you would come, but you still showed up a week earlier than I expected." "Can't I come over from home to see you?" Zheng Huiyang asked. "Come on, is it the ladies' street that makes you restless?" Xiaofang said with a smile, "To you now, it is like gods, Buddhas, and demons, right?" Zheng Huiyang walked over, pressed the service bell on the table, then sat down opposite Xiaofang and asked, "Are you two couples on good terms today, and are you using these gods and monsters to tease me together?" Xiaofang giggled, "How dare you, you are in the prime of your life now." The waiter knocked on the door and came in. Zheng Huiyang said to her, "A pot of longjing." The waiter nodded and went out. Xiaofang looked at Zheng Huiyang and said with a smile, "Okay, Sister Huiyang, let me reveal our background to you first. It's time. If the price is right, we are willing to take action on the women's street." Zheng Huiyang met Xiaofang's gaze. "What if the price is not right?" "Then I will consider conducting Series B and then prepare to go public on Nasdaq," Xiaofang said. "What's the appropriate price you said?" Zheng Huiyang asked directly. "Sister, are you here to trick me?" Xiaofang giggled. "If I tell you, will I put myself in a corner and not even have any room for bargaining? Can you please stop smiling so playfully? When you laugh at me, I feel like the atmosphere is not right. I can't even take myself seriously," Zheng Huiyang said. Xiaofang nodded, straightened her face, and extended her right hand to signal to Zheng Huiyang, "Buyers, please bid." Zheng Huiyang also laughed, and she said, "Well, it's better not to be serious. You look ridiculous when you are serious. 95 million, okay." "No," Xiaofang said, "do you think a website with 100 million registered members and all active users is only worth 950 million? Sister, you should also have data there, knowing that we give you a treasure network every day. How much drainage, right?" "You're doing this again with me," Zheng Huiyang sighed. "Which one?" Xiaofang asked. "You're asking for a high price, and you're bullying me because I'm an acquaintance of yours," Zheng Huiyang said angrily. Xiaofang giggled, it's you who are bullying customers in the store now. It's my sister who's bullying me. Every time you come here, you tease me with such outrageous prices. I've already given you my best. If the price is right, we will agree to sell it. If sister offers a reasonable price, I will take out the data and discuss it with you seriously. Sister is like this now. Zheng Huiyang glared at Xiao Fang, and Xiao Fang continued to laugh. Why, you still want to hit me? I am a pregnant woman now and I am protected. I'm not afraid of teaching bad children, Zheng Huiyang muttered. No, I am teaching her that business is business. Even if your sister comes and she is aggressive, don't back down, Xiao Fang said. Add another 300 million, 1.25 billion, no more, Xiao Fang, Zheng Huiyang said. It's a bit reliable. Xiao Fang lowered her head and thought for a moment, then raised her head and said, 1.52 billion, with one condition attached. What conditions? You must arrange the 3 people on the founding team, Xiao Fang said. There is no problem in arranging people, but the price still needs. 0.2 is chopped for you, sister, Xiao Fang said. Zheng Huiyang tapped Xiao Fang with her finger, and both of them laughed. Someone knocked on the door. Xiao Fang said please come in, and the waiter came in. She placed the tray in front of Zheng Huiyang and said to her, "Your Longjing." Zheng Huiyang said thank you, and the waiter turned around and went out. Zheng Huiyang poured herself tea and said, "See, a pot of tea hasn't been served yet. I don't have 1.5 billion here. Then the women's street here is gone. Am I going to cry, sister?" Xiao Fang said. Zheng Huiyang raised her head, glanced at Xiao Fang, and cursed, "You are so sharp-tongued, will you die if you ask me to tell you?" Tit for tat, my sister didn't let me know a word, Xiao Fang said. The two looked at each other and laughed again. Thank you Zhengji, Quadratic VC, and 2 fish for the reward. Thank you Tian Wei, Crush Killer VIP, Xiang J, Midnight Wu GEC, Zizhe Wu, and Hao, Lao Shen Zisang, Daijuan Zai Feng, Huang Pipi, Lao Chen Tang, Not Impossible World's monthly pass. Thanks for all the votes and reading. I wish you all good health. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The Pentium Era, South to North. Author, Mei Shi Niang. Chapter 1767. The Women's Street was finally sold to Mr. Ma, Wu Huan, Wu Yu, and Sheng Chunyang for a price of 1.5 billion yuan. Xiao Fang fulfilled her promise to them at the beginning of the year and gave them a lot of money. I used the money to go to work on the internet. The investment in this project, Xiao Fang's 4 million angel round, the final return was more than 100 times. Lu Yun and Xiaohua's Series A investors also received nearly 10 times the investment return. For Wu Huan and others, what's more, Wu Huan and Xiao Fang said, "We are Diozi who have completely turned over. Boss, I want to thank you on behalf of Diozi. It was really time to break up." Wu Huan hugged Xiao Fang and Xiaohua and burst into tears. Wu Yu and Sheng Chunyang's eyes were also red. The farewell banquet was held at the Tuxianjiayuan Hotel on Yan'an Road. Zhang Chen, Xiaoli, Su Qiaxin, and Li Wei also came. Finally, Wu Huan picked up the cup and told everyone that we are here to say goodbye to the Women's Street. Everyone was crying again. Most of the employees of the Women's Street followed Wu Huan and the others to Dobeo.com. And some people went to Zhongchen's Sky City e-commerce industrial park, and they also wanted to build their own website. Wu Huan hugged Xiao Fang and said, "Boss, do you want me? If you want me, I will follow you and do whatever you ask me to do." Xiao Fang said to Wu Huan sincerely, "I don't have a suitable position for you yet. You are overqualified for your job here. Really, I suggest you go to Dabeo.com first. They are a very good company. You can learn a lot there. If you don't want to use money for retirement now, learn more, it's all yours. Wu Huan nodded yeah. Back home, Zhang Chen and Xiao Fang said that it was like a myth. In less than a year, each of these three young people had hundreds of millions in cash. When there were so many people in our factory and store, I remember it took almost a year for my sister to earn her first 10 million. This is the characteristic of the internet economy. Most websites go from prosperity to decline in a 3-year cycle. If a website remains unknown after a year, it can be abandoned. Think about it, the speed of information transmission now, people accept all kinds of information so quickly. If no one pays attention to your website for a year, does it still have the value of existing? As Xiao Fang said, Zhang Chen thought of the website he made for half an acre of field, and he chuckled. The website I built has not been visited by anyone for several years. Speaking of it, my website seems to be only a few months later than Diebao.com. Xiao Fang giggled, this is the specialty of the industry. At that time, if you had a suitable team to carry out professional operations, needless to say, if Zheng Huiyang was still in the company, you might leave it to her to run it. Just started doing it. Zhang Chen agreed, if Zheng Huiyang is here, it really is like this. What you make is not a website, but your work, just like the paintings you draw. When you make it, you are just curious. When you are done, you are satisfied. You don't care what happens next. Because you didn't expect this website to bring you anything, right? Zhang Chen nodded and said yes. Wu Huan and the others are different. They want to make money from the beginning, so even if I tell Wu Huan that making money is not her task, she still thinks about how to make money every day, although she doesn't actually make much money. But it has a profit model, and as long as it continues along this path, it will become more and more profitable, Xiao Fang said. After being acquired by Diebao.com, will the women's street grow rapidly? Zhang Chen asked. Xiao Fang shook her head, no, it will go away, and it will shrink quickly. How could it be? Zhang Chen was surprised. Dear, Zheng Huiyang and the others had no intention of making it bigger when they acquired Ladies Street. After the acquisition, in the first step, all links to external websites from Ladies Street will be cut off. Next, when a woman searches for a piece of clothing on the street, what comes up will not be a few comparison links from Doubao, JD.com, Dangdang, and Vipshop. This function is no longer available. There will be more, but the ones that come out will all be links to Diebao.com, from different websites to several different stores on Diebao.com. Xiao Fang said, finally, the community function of the Women's Street will be merged into Doubao.com, and the Women's Street will completely become an empty shell. I'll go, Zhang Chen scolded. Zheng Huiyang and the others spent 1.5 billion just to kill people. Yes, after diverting all the traffic to Doubao.com, the life of Ladies Street will be over. For Teacher Ma and others, the main purpose is to snipe the growth of any website with similar functions to theirs. The acquisition is just to kill you gently, not to help you grow up together. Do you know why Zheng Huiyang came to me at this time? Zhang Chen shook his head and said he didn't know. Because they know that if they miss this opportunity, they may not have it in the future. They know that Women's Street already has the conditions to be listed on Nasdaq, and Sister Lu Yun and I have the ability to get it listed on Nasdaq after Dake goes public. They are not sure whether Ladies Street will become a strong rival to them and take away their traffic. And once it goes public, if they want to acquire it, it may cost more than 15 billion, so they have to take action at this time, and I am waiting for them. Zhang Chen was a little confused. He asked, since you said that after the launch of Women's Street, it may become a strong competitor of Diebao.com, why don't you just wait for it to go public? This is possible, Xiao Fang said. It may be possible, and it may not be possible. For us, it is an unknown number, and for Teacher Ma and the others, it is also an unknown number. If they take action now, it can be said that spending the minimum cost to eliminate a potential opponent is also the best opportunity for us to make profits. I am an investor, not a website person. The most important thing for an investor is to know how to stop when things are good. After the listing, once Ladies Market fails to become a competitor to Debo.com, investors will quickly abandon it. For us, the risk is too great, so an acquisition at this time is the best for both of us. The timing is right, as Zheng Huiyang said, a 1.5 billion business deal has already been concluded before even a pot of tea is served. I really don't understand these internet companies now, Zhang Chen said. Xiaofang smiled and said, you don't need to understand, it's enough if one of our family does. If you think too much, you will mess up your thoughts. My dear, just do what you understand. That's fine, very good. Zhang Chen smiled bitterly and said, I just can't understand how a company like this, which is located in a small house next to Tan Shahan's house, is worth 1.5 billion. Do you know Huabing, dear? Xiaofang said, no matter what name it is, whether it is the internet economy or the virtual economy, their biggest characteristic is that they are asset light. Unlike real enterprises are assets can be seen and touched. You have several acres of land and several houses there. Once you find an appraisal company to evaluate them, the appraisal price will come out. It is impossible for you to draw a pie. The internet economy is different. It is asset light and has various possibilities. You can't see or touch it. The pie can be drawn infinitely. Who knows what the future will be like? In addition, there are companies like Google, Amazon, and Diobao.com are such successful cases. Who can guarantee that this company will not be the Google or Diobao.com in the future? This pie can be painted according to the picture, and the picture will get bigger and bigger. So I think the internet economy, if I use a more definite term, should be called the subjective economy. The measurement standards are subjective, and the value is also subjective. Just like when I first valued the Women's Street, it can be said to be 10 million, or it can be said to be 20 million. Similarly, if I say 5 million, Wu Huan and Wu Yu will accept it. All of this, just in my mind, I felt that the risk of 20 million was too high. If I estimated 5 million, it would be a bit bullying these children. I just said 10 million. What should I use as the standard? There is no standard, I am the standard, my feeling is the standard. The valuation of all internet companies is based on this. Even if you find a third-party evaluation agency, the evaluation report they produce is still subjective and has no standards. You said the traffic data is always true, but the traffic does not wait. Due to the price relationship, the video website has a lot of traffic, but it has no benefits at all. The same traffic of Debo.com can produce real benefits. Even traffic data is unreliable. What data do internet companies have that is reliable? Anyway, there are people buying and selling, and the real value is generated. Then beat the drum and pass the flowers. You don't have to worry about buying it too expensive. As long as there may be someone to take over later, you can buy it boldly, Zhang Chen asked. Yes, when the internet bubble burst, many companies were completely destroyed overnight. It was not that the company itself had any problems overnight, but that no one believed in the pie painted. So the internet economy, especially confidence the economy, the credit economy, once confidence collapses, the entire industry collapses. The most typical one is Bitcoin. In fact, it is nothing, it is just an algorithm. If everyone believes and recognizes its value, it will have value. If everyone thinks it has no value, it will depreciate in value. The gold coins and game coins in the game are also algorithms, so the rise and fall of Bitcoin is actually the rise and fall of people's confidence in it. The next day, Zhang Chen sent Xiaofang to work and walked to the door of Zhen Shui tea house. Xiaofang said that she wanted to go to that townhouse to see Wu Huan and the others. She thought about herself and Xiao and the others. Can I move back? Zhang Chen accompanied Xiaofang and walked towards Tan Shahen's house. When he walked to the door of the house, he was surprised to find that the door was open. The two people walked in and saw Wu Huan, Wu Yu, Sheng Chunyang, and the others inside. They, Wu Huan, came over quickly. Xiaofang said. Why are you still here and haven't reported in? I've been there. They will officially start work tomorrow. I will bring them over to do a good job of cleaning. They will squat down with a towel and wipe every place clean. Wu Huan said, I want them to remember this place. This will probably be the most memorable place in their lives. In this society, everyone is working hard and everyone wants to succeed, but not everyone will be like this, the lucky one. Thank you Huang Pipi and QTDJB for your monthly votes. Thanks for all the votes and reading. Have a good evening everyone. The Pentium Era, South to North. Author, Mei Shi Niang. Chapter 1768. Zhang Chen returned to his office, turned on his computer, went to the women's market, and clicked on a piece of clothing at random. The links he saw were, as Xiaofang said, all related stores on Doubao.com. Zhang Chen ordered a few more items and found that they were all like this. If there were any Doubao stores selling this type of clothing, he listed the stores so that consumers could compare them. If they didn't sell the same style, he recommended similar ones. Style: all the traffic of Ladies Street is directed to Doubao.com, and all links to other websites have been interrupted. This damn move was too fast. Zhang Chen smiled bitterly and shook his head. It seemed that the stronger a company was, the more powerful it was when it wanted to do evil. Of course, doing this on Doubao.com cannot be considered evil. Ladies Street is now a doll that people spent 1.5 billion yuan on. They can play with it however they want, even if they play it to death, that's their business. Zhang Chen felt that when a company turns itself into a Big Mac, it becomes a giant windmill, and everyone who challenges it becomes Don Quixote riding a weak horse with sparse hair. He thinks this way. When Zhang Chen saw this, he felt a little sad. He thought that in the future, his e-commerce industrial park would be filled with countless Don Quixotes like him. Moreover, these Quixotes often wait eagerly to be bribed by windmills, just like Ladies Street was bribed by Doubao.com. In fact, the Don Quixotes have already lost the courage to challenge the windmills before they even set out. All he could do was keep casting flattering glances at the windmill. This kind of scene makes people feel sick. Doesn't he even have the courage of an ordinary man? Zhang Chen felt that if he had started building a website seriously more than 10 years ago, if he could have built a website like Ladies Street, based on his personality, I would not have sold it no matter how much money Doubao.com paid. I just want to challenge you, Teacher Ma. Just like when I was young, all designers were shit in my eyes, and I would not worship anyone. Zhang Chen remembers that time, when he shocked the Cannes Film Festival because of the costumes he designed for Miss Gong. Su Wenhui came to interview him. During the interview, Su Wenhui mentioned a female costume designer in Hangzhou at that time, saying that she had received Su Wenhui, one of the best designers in the country, asked Zhang Chen if she would like to hear her evaluation of your design. Zhang Chen said without thinking, she doesn't deserve it. Who are you? Your petty designs are not even worthy of carrying He Hungmei's shoes. Do I need your comment? Times have changed, and if he were to meet this female designer again, it is said that he has now become a professor in the fashion department of the China Academy of Art. If he were to meet this female professor by chance again, Zhang Chen felt that he would be too tactful and sophisticated. No more anger and disdain, and he would shake her hand, say hello, and excuse himself and walk away. When people are alive, they live like this, which is a bit disgusting. But if a person doesn't know how to be crazy when he is young, how can he be crazy? Wu Yu and the others were younger than themselves at that time. Is it necessary to give up so early? Young days are just a waste of several years, so what? Zhang Chen sat there. He didn't know why he was angry. He felt that in this state, he was like an old angry young man or a gangster. He smiled to himself and shook his head. Zhang Chen stood up and walked to the window. He looked at the huge building outside the Iron Gate. The main building of the e-commerce park has been completed. At the end of the Lunar New Year, the place will officially begin to attract foreign investment. At that time, the small Fang is about to give birth, and she doesn't know whether the one born will be Xiangdong or Xiangxiang. Zhang Chen felt that compared with everything else, this new life was a problem he faced. When Zhang Xiangbei was around, he and Xiao Zhao were very busy, and they couldn't take care of much. Zhang Xiangbei can be said to be you grow up ignorantly. This new life is different. She or he will definitely get more care. What Zhang Chen is worried about is whether it is because of receiving more care that he or she loses self-esteem and becomes weak, just like the younger generation of only children. When Zhang Chen looks at them, he always feels, they seem to be lacking something. Is it courage? Zhang Chen didn't know. The first batch of tenants here will be able to move in after the year. Few of these tenants are Zhang Chen's age. The entire e-commerce industry is a young industry. These entrepreneurs, they will definitely younger than Zhang Chen and others. Zhang Chen hopes that among these people, there will be some Don Quixotes who dare to challenge the windmill, instead of all the humble Don Quixotes, although they have little to do with him. Zhang Chen's office is on the first floor of the factory. He temporarily borrowed the conference room of Su Qiaxin's sales center. Zhang Chen heard music playing outside and knew that Xiaoli and the others were filming videos again. Zhang Chen stood up and walked out. Su Qiaxin and Xiaoli Geliang now shoot a batch of videos every time they release a new model and put them on various video websites at home and abroad. They say that they don't need to spend money anyway, and the advertising is free. Beat. Zhang Chen saw a few people coming from Wu Huan's side. Since there was nothing going on in the industrial park, they were here to help. Su Qiaxin and the others set aside a special area in the sales center and set up a T-shaped stage. Zhang Chen looked at the fitting models in his company, each one imitating the models on TV and walking to the beat of the music. Taiwan step. The problem is that their fitting models are mainly for fitting clothes. They are all of average height, which is different from the models walking on the catwalk. Moreover, they have not received professional model training. I found it funny after watching it once or twice. The more times, the more it always felt a little strange. Qian was telling them what should be done, but they also looked at a loss. Zhang Chen stood there thinking for a while, then he thought of it and said to Qian, you can wear it yourself. Should I wear it? No, I'm already an old woman, Qian said. Wear it. The boss has spoken. How dare you not wear it? What an old woman you are. I think you still have charm. As Su Qiaxin said, everyone else laughed. Su Qiaxin cursed, why are you laughing? Did I say something wrong? The charm is still there, you just mean that she is already an old woman, Zhang Chen said with a smile. Su Qiaxin made a face and asked, what should I say? You can say he is in his prime, Zhang Chen said. Okay, Qian, you are in your prime. Hurry up and put it on. The boss must have some tricks up his sleeve, Su Qiaxin said, and everyone laughed again. Qian looked at Zhang Chen, who nodded. Qian retreated to the dressing room, changed her clothes and came out. Beautiful, Su Qiaxin said, several other people applauded, and Qian blushed. Although Qian is already in her 30s, she originally studied dance and has maintained a good figure. Zhang Chen told them. Let's change the way, Qian, don't walk on stage like them. You know clothes very well. Just face the camera and introduce your clothes to everyone like you usually talk, from style to workmanship. When introducing workmanship, you can be more detailed and use more professional terminology, so that you appear to be very professional. Everyone followed Zhang Chen's instructions and started shooting again, and the results were indeed much better than before. Zhang Chen told the fitting models that you should stand behind Qian in a row, but don't be stiff in your movements, just be casual. Zhang Chen and Qian said, after you introduce the clothes you are wearing, you can then introduce the clothes they are wearing. You introduce one, and they come up to one. The one who has been introduced goes down to change new clothes. In this way, unknowingly, I just introduced all the clothes, and everyone was more natural during the whole process. Qian nodded and asked everyone to continue. Zhang Chen clasped his hands on his chest and stood behind the camera to watch. He felt that something was missing in the background. Zhang Chen thought for a while, then called Ji Ling over and said to her, "How about we set up another photo studio? From now on, we will shoot according to this mode. Never make it into a catwalk style. Just here, dismantle the T stage and build a photo studio with the props inside and the scenery behind it. Can be replaced at any time, so that you can capture a lot of scenes in one shot." "That's a good idea, boss." Su Kioxin clapped her hands and told everyone, "Stop first, don't shoot for now." Several people followed Zhang Chen to Zhang Chen's office. Ji Ling took out the paper, pen, and paint, and Zhang Chen immediately started drawing. He was very good at this. In the past, in the theater troupe, he had to design this first for every scene. The stage design of the show asked Xiang's husband and the others to prepare props based on his design. Zhang Chen quickly drew a rendering of a studio. While drawing, he thought that just like a play needs a title, theirs also needs a name, so that it can be called after hearing the sound. Zhang Chen asked Su Kioxin and the others, "How about we call this Qian Studio?" Su Kioxin and others said yes. Qian said, No, let's call it Half-Acre Field Studio." Zhang Chen shook his head, "Just call the brand name. When people hear it, it will be an advertisement. There are some people who are very disgusted with advertising. When they see it is an advertisement, their conditioned reflex will stop you. You can't be so naked." Zhang Chen wrote the words Qian Studio on the back panel of the studio. Zhang Chen said, "We can specify that the costumes are provided by Half-Acre Field, but that's the name of the studio." At the construction site of the e-commerce park, there were all kinds of workers including carpenters, electricians, painters, and welders, as well as materials for building a photo studio. Su Kioxin went over and called a few workers over. According to the drawings drawn by Zhang Chen, it took me an afternoon to build the studio and install all the lights. Zhang Chen drove out by himself and bought a screen and a laser projector. When he returned to the factory, he designed the set, Qian Studio, and started filming that night. "Thank you for the reward of 2 fishes. Thank you QTDJB, Xiao Shen Nian Fang 48, Book Friends 201705181417384448, Snacks, Yunlong Frogfish, Mao, Happy Xiaofen number 8, Shi Yitan, Pai Wuzun, Book Friends 201711210832371166, Book Friends 201805121221105118 for your monthly votes. Thanks for all the votes and reading. I wish you all good health. The Pentium Era, South to North. Author, Mei Shi Niang. Chapter 1769. Qian Studio filmed until about 11 o'clock in the evening. After the filming, everyone was still interested and must watch the 26-minute program again. After watching it, everyone felt that the effect was good and the format of the program was very novel. It is indeed much better than the old-fashioned catwalk. Unfortunately, if the internet speed were not insufficient, we could have broadcast live online, Zhang Chen said. it is best to make some mistakes in the middle of the live broadcast to exaggerate the atmosphere and make people understand that this is a live broadcast, not a recording, just like a lot of movie trailers are like that. If the live broadcast is done at our place, and the audience will watch it at our place, there will be no problem, Guanliang said. We have enough bandwidth here, and the entire e-commerce industrial park will be able to do it in the future. Guanliang turned out to be a technical expert at Ladies Street. This time he didn't want to go to Dobayo.com, but came to Zhang Chen and the others. The reason was that his ex-girlfriend was now working as a customer service person at Dobayo.com, and he didn't want to see it anymore. When it came to her, Wu Yu specifically told Zhang Chen that Guanliang was very powerful, and Zhang Chen handed over the network center of the e-commerce industrial park to him. There is another question, Guanliang said. What's the problem? Zhang Chen asked. Today's video websites all have upload file size limits. If it is a complete program, it will definitely exceed it. We can only upload fragments of it. Guanliang's words poured cold water on everyone. Fragments are just fragments, and even fragments can attract attention, Ge Ling said. How about cleaning our warehouse? Zhang Chen thought for a moment and asked. What do you mean, boss? Su Qiaxin asked. Zhang Chen said, our own website has all formed spider webs. Xiaoguan, can you redo it? As soon as Zhang Chen finished speaking, Xiaoli, Li Wei and Guanliang all laughed. Zhang Chen asked, is this ridiculous? Xiaoli said, we have been discussing this matter for the past 2 days. There are some customers on Amazon who are fans of our products. They asked us if there is a complete website where all our products can be viewed directly and placed an order directly. We thought about making our own website with Chinese and English versions, and then adding versions in other languages. In this way, we not only rely on other people's trading platforms, but also have our own trading platform. Customers who are interested in our products can directly register as our members and enjoy greater discounts. This is a good idea. Why didn't anyone tell me? Zhang Chen asked curiously. Several people laughed and looked at Su Qiaxin. Su Qiaxin said, we are afraid that you will be angry, boss, so we want to set up the entire framework and risk being beheaded to talk to you. Why am I angry? Zhang Chen asked. I want to chop off your heads. Am I a tyrant? He said that the website you designed is not good and that it is out of date. There is a lot of redundant code in the source code, which is not concise enough. It needs to be rewritten so that the web page can be opened faster, Xiaoli pointed. Guanliang said. Then change it? I'm not a professional to begin with. You can tear the whole thing down and start over, Zhang Chen said. Why, you think I'm such a stingy person for changing my stuff on such a trivial matter? Will I be unhappy? Will I chop off your heads? Su Qiaxin giggled. Aren't we afraid of you? That, what's that idiom? You have to hold even a broken broom. I'm so precious, you pig, Ge Ling scolded, and everyone laughed. Zhang Chen and Guanliang said, you can just burn my broken broom and start over. I will help you with ideas on the color scheme of the web page, okay? Of course. I heard from Wu Yu that he said you are very powerful. You helped change the website of Ladies Street, Guanliang said. After the website is improved, we can put the full version of Qian Studio on our own website, whether it is Weibo or a video website. If you can only post clips, then post the clips and then provide the complete version. The link allows those who are interested in this to go directly to our website to have a look, Zhang Chen said. Mr. Zhang, I have an idea, Guanliang said. You say. We can open a live broadcast room on our website, and some viewers with sufficient bandwidth can watch the live broadcast directly on our website. Those who cannot watch the live broadcast can wait until the live broadcast is over to request the full video. Guanliang suggested. Zhang Chen nodded and said yes, this is a good idea, Qian, this is a challenge for you. I'm not afraid. Didn't you say that it would be better to make some mistakes in the middle to let people know that this is a live broadcast and not a recording? Something can go wrong. What am I afraid of? Qian has already filmed an episode of Qian Studio and her confidence has increased. Okay, it's settled then, let's go, I'll treat everyone to a midnight snack, Zhang Chen said, and everyone cheered. More than a week later, Zhang Chen and his half-acre field website was remade and uploaded to the server in their own computer room. The next day after uploading, they were ready to start a new live broadcast of Qian Studio, the website. On the day of uploading, they did a wave of promotion. Not only Zhang Chen's own Weibo, but also broadcast a clip from Qian Studio and gave a complete video link. And it was announced that the first online live broadcast of Qian Studio will start at 8 p.m. the next day. Xiang Nan's Weibo did the same promotion. Zhang Chen saw several celebrities on Weibo who also did simultaneous promotions. Zhang Chen called Qian and asked her, "Did you ask them to promote it?" "No, it's Wen, that die-hard girl," Qian and Zhang Chen said. "She said that she sold her most precious dignity to me. If I don't do a good job tomorrow, she will fly over from Beijing and beat me up." Zhang Chen held the phone and laughed, and said, "Then do your best." "I wasn't nervous at first, but I became nervous when you messed with me, Mr. Zhang," Qian said. Zhang Chen quickly comforted him, it's okay, just be on the other side of the camera, there's not a single audience. The problem is that I know there is. Our website has more than 7 million views today. So many people are viewing a corporate website." Guan Liangdu said that the traffic is too scary. He also told me that there are more than 360,000 registered members, of which more than 80,000 are from overseas, Qian said. Zhang Chen smiled and said, "Then I can't save you. It's your own fault if you perform badly." "Mr. Zhang, you can't leave me alone," Qian shouted. Zhang Chen said, "No, when you broadcast live tomorrow, I will go to the scene to watch you and help you support the show." Qian giggled, "That's pretty much it?" Xiao Fang heard that Zhang Chen and the others were planning to conduct an online live broadcast, and was very interested. She must go to their factory with Zhang Chen to have a look. Zhang Chen arrived with Xiao Fang, and Su Qiaxin shouted when he saw it. "The queen is here, everyone must behave well today. The pig is also a queen, and the queen is the master's mother." Ji Ling cursed and everyone laughed. Su Qiaxin looked at Ji Ling and said, "Are you going to have trouble with me?" "Yes, how is it?" Ji Ling asked. Su Qiaxin sighed and said, "It's not that good, I'll spare you." "You should thank me when I correct you," Ji Ling said. Don't make any noise, there's only 1 minute left, the countdown begins. There are already more than 80,000 people waiting to watch our live broadcast." Xiaoli shouted, and the scene fell silent. This was the first time for everyone to experience live broadcasting. Without this experience, they all began to get nervous. Qian was sitting there, and Zhang Chen saw that she began to tremble. Zhang Chen shouted, "Qian, why are you shaking? Are you cold? Do you want a downcoat?" Everyone laughed loudly, and Qian also laughed. With this smile, she relaxed. Guan Liang said, "Start." The live broadcast was going on. Zhang Chen and the others stood there, staring at the computer screen. As they watched, Zhang Chen asked Guan Liang, "Is there any way to add interactive functions so that viewers can communicate directly with Qian?" "Yes," Guan Liang said, "you can add a dialog box on the edge of the screen, and the audience can enter text in the dialog box." "No dialog boxes," Ji Ling said. "Send them directly on the screen, just like a barrage." Ji Ling pointed to the lower left corner of the screen and said to Guan Liang, "In order not to destroy the picture, you can display all the text here so that Qian can also see it. She doesn't have to tilt her head to the side." She can be on the screen, just pick the questions and answer them. Zhang Chen also thought Ji Ling's idea was a good one. Guan Liang said, let's think of a way. This live broadcast was a great success. More than 200,000 people watched their Qian studio online. Many people who watched the live broadcast immediately went to their website to buy the clothes Qian introduced. It caused a traffic jam. Fortunately, Guan Liang and the others took action immediately. They also had the experience of Ladies Street downtime and solved the problem in a few minutes. When the second live broadcast started, more viewers watched the live broadcast, more than 500,000 people. For the second live broadcast, they added the function of online communication with the audience, which was very popular. Xiaoli said that she wanted to squeeze in and join in. It was fun to ask a question. The subtitles scrolled so fast that she didn't even see her own words. Zhang Chen thought to himself that if this was the case, this function would be scrapped. Zhang Chen and Guan Liang said, improve it again and change it to become a member before you can speak. Guan Liang said yes. Qian Studio was originally going to be broadcast once a week, but because of the audience's request and Xiaoli's request, it had to increase the number of shows. Xiaoli and Zhang Chen said, on the day every live broadcast ends, the sales on our website more than increase tenfold. It's best to come more often. You want to exhaust me to death, Qian glared at her. It will also exhaust us to death. Where can we get so many new models? Ji Ling said. Zhang Chen thought for a while and said, then we will schedule 3 days and live broadcast once every 3 days. Also, we can not only introduce our own products, but also introduce the products of so many manufacturers below us. Don't we also? Are you selling their products? That's right, Su Qiaxin and the others' eyes lit up. In this way, their sales can increase a lot. Xiaofang would watch every live broadcast. At this time, Xiaofang said from the side, Qian Studio can also invite guests. This will not only increase everyone's interest, but also reduce Qin's workload. As the first guest, I think we can invite Tan Shahen. She has sold clothes and is very interested in clothes. Very understanding too. Yes, the chairman of Splendid China is a guest at Qian Studio, which will be news in itself. Su Qiaxin said, we can invite Xiang Nan for the second episode, and we can invite a mother and daughter for the third episode. In the same frame, haha, the two of them have appeared in several episodes now. Are you sure about Tan Shahen? Zhang Chen scolded with a smile, but he thought Xiaofang and Su Qiaxin's suggestion was very good. It's you who decides to take over Sister Zhen. Anyway, the task of inviting the two of them is left to you. We don't have such a big reputation, Su Qiaxin said. I have a proposal, Ji Ling said. If you fart, hurry up, Su Qiaxin shouted to Ji Ling. Why does it have to be a woman? Men can also be guests. In today's episode, let Master be the guest. The people are ready-made. As soon as Ji Ling said this, everyone else applauded. Zhang Chen just said a few words of no, but Qian had already come to pull him. Qian said, what's not possible? You can do it, Mr. Zhang. If you don't broadcast it, I won't broadcast it either. Zhang Chen looked at Xiaofang, who smiled and said, don't look at me, I can't help you. Yes, if he keeps cheating, we will ask the Queen to go up and introduce maternity clothes, Su Qiaxin said. Thank you Zheng Kanghai, Quadratic VC, Captain Jim, 0 Jkig, Book Friends 2019073007524190, and the rewards at 3 o'clock in the middle of the night. Thank you for your monthly votes for Once Upon a Time, Looking at the Plum Blossoms and Still Thirsting, The Wind in the West, Ju 11, The Flame of Morality, The Hot-Blooded Swordsman, The Humorous Tribe, The Undaunted, Yuengzi, and Yunlong Frogfish. Have a good evening everyone. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The Pentium Era, South to North. Author, Mei Shi Niang. Chapter 1770. Zhang Chen went to Qianqian's studio to introduce clothes. This was his specialty. He quickly got into the role. Moreover, he immediately showed off his skills on the spot. He called several fitting models together and asked them to change. When it comes to clothes, I played with matching, and even took apart the original suit and matched it with other styles of dresses. The fitting model went down and changed the clothes according to his suggestion, and when she came back up, everyone saw that the effect was indeed different. There was a round of applause in the live broadcast room, and there were countless likes online. When Zhang Chen and others were live broadcasting, Guan Liang installed a counter opposite them. You can see that the number on it keeps changing. This is the number of viewers watching in real time. Guan Liang told them, in this way, you can use this as for the changes in numbers, you know what you are talking about, which ones people like to hear and which ones they don't like, and you can adjust them at any time. When Zhang Chen was broadcasting live, the number kept rising. Halfway through the broadcast, it had exceeded 1 million. The audience cheered, and there were comments from viewers online. Oh my God, I thought I was in the wrong place. I walked to the 100 Schools forum and saw this curly hair again. Everyone laughed. What should I do if more viewers leave messages saying they want to watch Qianqian studio every day? While Zhang Chen was introducing the clothes in the studio, someone immediately went to their website to check out the clothes he introduced and placed an order immediately. Xiaoli exclaimed. What should I do if several styles of clothes are sold out? She made a gesture to Qianqian, who stood up and walked out of the studio, where Zhang Chen continued to introduce. Xiaoli told Qianqian that there were already several styles and they were sold out. Qianqian said, it doesn't matter. I will place the production order immediately after the live broadcast ends. You can rest assured to sell it. Okay, Xiaoli said, we can't stop it anymore, we're going to start a killing spree. Qianqian smiled and returned to the studio. She leaned close to Zhang Chen's ear and told him the matter. Zhang Chen nodded. Below, many people soon said, I really want to know what Qianqian and curly hair are talking about. Qianqian sent a grimacing emoticon, and then typed, whispering, I won't tell you. On this day, they completed more than 40 million in sales, and most of their customers were domestic. It seemed that the power of live broadcast was taking effect. Su Qiaxin applauded and said, it's great. It depends on who can break this record in the future. Boss, don't cry when it is broken. Zhang Chen said, I hope it can be broken in the next issue. In that case, I won't even have time to laugh. At the end of the live broadcast, Zhang Chen called Qianqian to the office and told her that you might want to consider that the factory needs to train someone immediately to take over your shift, otherwise your time will not be available. It doesn't matter, Mr. Zhang, I'm joking with Qiaxin and the others. It doesn't matter even if we live broadcast every day, isn't it just to spare half an hour at night, Qianqian said. It's not that simple. Nowadays, it's all clothes. You know this, so you don't need to prepare. What about other products? You have to spend a lot of time to understand them, and even go to the factory to see their entire production process. Only in this way will you continue to look very good. Major. Also, including in the future, I am thinking that the guests who come to your studio are not only me, Tan Shuhen and Xiang Nan, but there will definitely be other people. You can also ask Wenwen to sell you the biggest and biggest in order to save face, please invite some celebrities to the scene to support. As Zhang Chen said, Qianqian laughed and said, okay, Wenwen is such a die-hard girl, I'm sure she will be defeated. Zhang Chen smiled and continued, You know us very well, so when you live broadcast with us, everyone sings and harmonizes in the studio, which can work well together. If you meet an unfamiliar guest, you need to do a lot of homework in advance. Have a detailed understanding of him, so that we can achieve the same effect as when we live broadcast together, which takes a lot of time and energy. In the live broadcast room, small mistakes are fun. If you often make common sense mistakes, others will think you are talking nonsense, a half-empty bucket of water, a half-filled vase, and it will destroy the reputation you have worked so hard to build. Yes, mastering this degree is very important and requires you to spend time figuring it out. When you were studying, your teacher must have told you the principle of 1 minute on stage, 10 years of work off stage, and the same goes for live broadcasting. Qian felt that what Zhang Chen said made sense, so she said, "Okay, Mr. Zhang. You can appoint an assistant first, and then transfer everything you are doing to him. There are so many people and things in the factory, and if they are handed over at once, they probably won't be able to handle them." "There needs to be a transition," Zhang Chen said. Qian nodded. On the way, Zhang Chen and Xiaofang went back. Lu Yun called Xiaofang and told her that she had just watched Qian's studio and it was very interesting. She wanted to say hello to Zhang Chen directly in the live broadcast room, but she couldn't get in. "Go in." In order to allow the messages to stay on the screen for a short period of time, Guan Liang and the others did technical processing and implemented a current limit on the messages. In this way, viewers need to queue up to leave messages. Many times, your message is not queued up before you are queued up. It will be replaced by the message that follows. Xiaofang hung up the phone and said to Zhang Chen, "We can consider asking Guan Liang and others to leave paid messages. That is, every message must be paid with game currency. This can increase income. The most important thing is to put an end to some people's plate washing and a lot of nonsense, so that people who really want to, those who communicate, have the opportunity to communicate, and those who really want to communicate will be your die-hard fans." Zhang Chen's eyes lit up and he thought this was a good idea. He immediately wanted to call Guan Liang. Xiaofang said, "Don't make phone calls while driving. Give me Guan Liang's number and I'll call him." Zhang Chen told Xiaofang Guan Liang's phone number, and Xiaofang immediately called Guan Liang and discussed the matter with him on the phone. Zhang Chen and Xiaofang returned to the splendid home. It was almost 11 o'clock. The two got off the car and walked hand in hand. Passing downstairs of their own home, Xiaofang took Zhang Chen's hand. "Tell him, I won't go to sleep with my parents today. I want to sleep with you. People haven't smelled your breath for a long time." Zhang Chen hesitated for a moment, then thought, yes, if he didn't go there, so what, would his mother come and drag Xiaofang out of bed? At worst, I would be scolded by the old lady tomorrow if I carried Xiaofang on my back. The two of them went upstairs and went to the bathroom. Zhang Chen helped Xiaofang take a bath, and then took a bath himself. They hadn't been alone together at night for so long. They were both a little excited. They hugged each other and kissed for a long time before walking to the bed. Still worried that they would not be able to control themselves when they got to bed, so the two simply walked to the living room, sat on the sofa and hugged each other. Zhang Chen moved lightly, as if he was afraid of bumping into Xiaofang and hurting the child in his belly. Xiaofang giggled. "It's okay. Life is not that fragile. You are scaring yourself. You have to be scientific." Zhang Chen also laughed. "It's true, my entire brain is now controlled by these two old ladies. I feel that my knowledge is similar to theirs." Xiaofang giggled. Neither of them was sleepy, so they just sat and chatted. Xiaofang and Zhang Chen said, "Dear, do you know what I want to do now?" Zhang Chen shook his head. "I really want to do something sorry for you." Xiaofang kept nodding her head and said, pretending to be mysterious. "Sorry about what happened to me." Zhang Chen was confused. "What's the matter? Don't you want to raise funds?" go public, or owe money. I have already thought about it and want to persuade you to change your mind. Xiaofang looked at Zhang Chen and said with a smile. Persuade me to go public, Zhang Chen asked, didn't you say that I can't go public now? It's not about listing your entire company, but... Xiaofang sat up straight, looked at Zhang Chen, and said seriously, dear, have you ever thought that what you are doing now may be creating a new world, new industry? Zhang Chen looked at Xiaofang and didn't understand what she was talking about. I mean Qian Studio. Xiaofang said, have you ever thought that in the form of live broadcast, you can set up a separate company and build a website, not only to serve your own business, but also to serving all enterprises? The benefits that live streaming can bring are obvious, and it can be said that it already has a very complete profit model. Zhang Chen was shocked. After thinking about it, it was really like this. Zhang Chen said, what you said is really possible. It's not possible, it's certain, Xiaofang said, and if you don't do this, many people will definitely imitate it. This model was created by you, but you may soon will become a bystander. Zhang Chen looked at Xiaofang, and he had to admit that Xiaofang's judgment was correct. If this matter continues to evolve, it is really possible that it will be like Xiaofang said. It is not difficult to learn the form of online live broadcast. The most important thing is to see who can run fast. The form and content are constantly updated. Everyone can run, but the ones who can be remembered are often those who run. The person at the front. Everyone remembers the champion in the Olympics, but who will remember the runner-up? The internet will be so cruel, or even crueler than this, that is, the winner takes all. I think this needs to be made independent now, and it needs to be operated by a professional technical team, management team, and even financing team according to the business model of the internet economy. Moreover, this will not affect the purpose of what you are doing now, and you can still continue do live sales of half an acre. Xiaofang took a sip of water and continued. The most important thing is that it will not affect your company's original business. To put it most unpleasantly, even if this company fails to succeed in the end, it will have no impact on your company's original business. It is completely new business. Thank you Zhong Xiao, book friend 201812082250148886, for the reward of 2 fishes. Thank you for the chair in the world, light and thin, quadratic VC, book friend 201907202341555629, no future, only remember the original intention, 48 years old, how can I not have the same name, Zipanjiang 1, Fantasy in the Wind, Cold Eyes of the Fantasy Moon, Zonkai 727, Wu monthly tickets for Family Courtyard and book friends 201709131435589112. Thanks for all the votes and reading. I wish you a nice weekend. The Pentium Era, South to North. Author, Mei Shi Niang. Chapter 1771. Xiaofang became excited as she spoke. She took a pen and paper and said to Zhang Chen, this website can now be valued at 50 million. Zhang Chen said yes, then I will take out 50 million. Xiaofang looked at him and asked, what's the point? It's just a department of your company. I said that if you want this thing to be big, you must take the road of professionalization and become independent from your company. Qian Live Room will also be independent from your company's website. Of course, your company website will still have an entrance to Qian Live Room. But the traffic for the product may be directed to your company's website, Debo.com, or Amazon at the same time. Is that okay? This is different, they are all our products anyway, Zhang Chen said. Xiaofang nodded, maybe sales will expand. Because of their shopping habits, some people just like to buy things on Diabeo.com. With the link to Diabeo.com, it will be more convenient for them. However, after the company becomes independent, even for half an acre of land, the products sold must be commissioned in proportion. Zhang Chen said yes. Also, in order to make this company truly independent, this time is different from Ladies Street. This is not venture capital, but a joint venture, Xiaofang said. Although Ban Mutian is still the major shareholder, the investor's investment ratio must account for more than half of the shares, so as to facilitate subsequent financing, mainly. Or what? Zhang Chen asked. Dear, you are too powerful. If you are allowed to control absolutely, the investors behind you will have doubts and they will worry that they cannot control you, Xiaofang said. Let's do this. In the initial stage, half an acre of land is invested with 2,000 yuan 10,000, accounting for 40% of the shares. We, Youth Capital and Sister Lu Yun's pilot investment, each invest 15 million, each accounting for 30% of the shares. Is that okay? Zhang Chen smiled and said, whatever you say is okay or not, you can do whatever you want. Oops, honey, I'm serious with you. I'm serious too, Zhang Chen said. I don't understand what happens next. It's not you who has the final say. Xiaofang giggled, as long as you understand that your wife won't betray you, that'll be fine. It doesn't matter if you sell it, as long as you get a good price, Zhang Chen said. I can't bear to do it, Xiaofang touched her belly and said, this little guy won't do it either. Xiaofang looked at her watch and said, I'm calling Sister Lu Yun now. It's past 12 o'clock, are you still fighting? Zhang Chen asked. It doesn't matter. Let's talk about the project. What are you afraid of? Xiaofang said and stood up. She said to Zhang Chen, I will go to the bedroom to fight. You wait here. I didn't ask you to come in, so you are not allowed to come in. Zhang Chen said yes. Xiaofang walked to the bedroom. Zhang Chen stood up and walked out to the balcony with a cigarette. Before he finished smoking, he vaguely heard Xiaofang calling him. Zhang Chen put out half of the cigarette in the flower pot. Inside, she pushed open the balcony door and walked back into the bedroom. Xiaofang said to her, Sister Lu Yun has negotiated here. She also wanted more shares, but I refused. Zhang Chen walked over and lay down and asked, did I sell myself? Yes, you just sold yourself, Xiaofang said. If you regret it now, it's too late. Then I won't regret it, Zhang Chen said. I will send Xiao to the new company. By the way, I want you to have 3 people here, one Qian, one Guan Liang, and the other one. Who do you think it is? Xiaofang asked. Xiao Li. Xiaofang shook her head. Su Qiaoxin. Xiaofang still shook her head. Ji Yiling. Xiaofang said no. Zhang Chen was surprised. Then who else do you want? Wen, Xiaofang said. Zhang Chen was surprised and asked, why do you want Wen? Dear, don't you think Wen is the most suitable for live broadcasting? Xiaofang said. The new company will retain the Qian studio. No, it will be changed to the Qian live room, and it will also be added Wen live room will continue to find many new announcers. Call it a podcast, Zhang Chen said. The announcer is too old-fashioned. Podcasting and blogging are the same. Xiaofang smiled and said, well, let's call it podcasting. The company will also recruit many podcasters and expand many other businesses. I can't control this, Zhang Chen said. Xiaofang nodded, yes, you can't control it anymore. Your current identity is just an investor. By the way, do you think it is better for Qian or Wen to be the general manager of this new company? Isn't it Xiao? Zhang Chen asked. Xiao is still too young and lacks management experience. From a management perspective, Wen and Qian each have their own merits, Zhang Chen said. Wen is driven, has strong market expansion capabilities, and has strong ability to deal with outsiders. Qian is more meticulous in internal management. Better at it? Then Qian, you are right. You can leave the market expansion and the training of new podcasts to Wen. Wen will be the vice president. That's one thing. She used to be the general manager of your Beijing logistics base, and now she is here. Hang Cheng coming to be the vice president is equivalent to being demoted. I don't know if she is willing to do it, Xiaofang said. I'll ask her tomorrow. Oops. What's wrong? Zhang Chen asked anxiously. It's okay, it's okay. Zhang Xiangzi kicked me. She was protesting that I had disturbed her. Xiaofang laughed. Zhang Chen looked at his watch. It was already past 1 o'clock and said quickly. Sleep, sleep, it seems like it's really hard without the old lady to take care of you. Some people are too unconscious and haven't slept until more than 1 o'clock. Xiaofang snorted and ducked her head into Zhang Chen's arms. When Zhang Chen woke up the next day, he saw that Xiaofang was not there. He thought that Xiaofang had gone to his parents' place to have breakfast, so he was not in a hurry. He sat up slowly on the bed, took a cigarette, and lit the lighter. Xiaofang's voice came from the living room. Zhang Xiangzi said, Dad, please don't smoke. Zhang Chen was startled, quickly put down the lighter, got out of bed and walked to the door of the room. He saw Xiaofang sitting on the sofa, with her laptop on the coffee table in front of her, and she was writing emails. Zhang Chen said, I thought you had passed. Xiaofang looked at him with a bitter face and said, I don't dare. Zhang Chen said, okay, I will accompany you there. Zhang Chen went back to his room, got dressed, went into the bathroom to wash his face and brush his teeth, and then took Xiaofang to his parents' place. The two people walked in and saw two old ladies sitting there with serious expressions. The two land reclamation warriors had gone somewhere. Xiaofang called out, Mom. Xiaofang's mother saw them coming and immediately stood up to serve them porridge. Zhang Chen's mother sighed. Well, it's no wonder that you young people really can't stand it for such a long time. When Zhang Chen and Xiaofang heard this, they burst out laughing. Zhang Chen's mother said, What, did I say something wrong? Yes, 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 Zhang Chen said quickly, I can't stand it any longer. You Xiaofang blushed and hit Zhang Chen. You still have to be careful, Xiaofang, you have to protect yourself, Zhang Chen's mother said. Xiaofang lowered her head and drank milk, nodding yet. Zhang Chen drove Xiaofang to the Zhenshui tea house. Xiaofang called Wenwen in the car and told Wenwen about the matter. Wenwen shouted. Okay, okay, I saw that die-hard Qian doing a live broadcast, and I was so jealous. Of course I'm willing to come. Xiaofang and Wenwen said that it was a pity that after she came, she could only serve as vice president and Qian as general manager. That damn bitch, she was the one who took care of me when I was in Beijing. She took care of me very well, but I couldn't take care of her. She has so many more ideas than I do. I can't handle her, so I'm willing to lose. Also, I can't sit still even if I sit in the office all day long. When I'm really bored here, I run out and drive a forklift, Wenwen said, and Xiaofang laughed. Xiaofang said, General Manager Zhang will call the second guy later, and the second guy will arrange a replacement for you. After the handover is completed, you can come to Hangzhou. Great, let's see you then, Wenwen said. After hanging up the phone, Xiaofang still kept laughing. Zhang Chen asked, What is so funny? This Wenwen, don't you think she is very suitable for live broadcasting? People who are with her are easily infected by her. I believe that the same is true for those in front of the computer screen, Xiaofang said. Zhang Chen nodded, he felt Xiaofang was right. The new company is named Fanhua, Hangzhou Fanhua Network Technology Co., Limited, and the name of the website is Fanhua. The company's address is temporarily lent to Zhang Chen and his factory. Qian rented a room on the third floor worth more than 400 yuan. Square meters of warehouse space were vacated. Now the goods in the factory move very quickly. They are basically packaged at the back end and then go directly to the sales center on the first floor to pack and ship out. The original warehouse has a lot of space, and flowers are placed in the warehouse. They are here, too. In just 2 months, when the industrial park next door is completely completed, they will move there. There are 2 advantages of putting it here. First, Qian can also help take care of Xie Wei. Xie Wei is still Qin's assistant, but soon, he will be the general manager of Zhongchen and their clothing company, replacing Qin's current position. Xie Wei was brought over from Beijing by Qian, and he worked with Qian in Beijing. Another advantage is convenience. They are currently broadcasting mainly products from Suqiaqin's sales center, so they didn't even demolish the Qian studio on the first floor, but just changed the name to Qian Live Room, and also set up a Wenwen live broadcast room nearby, waiting for Wenwen to take office. The chairman of Fanhua Company was supposed to be Zhang Chen, but Zhang Chen refused. He said, "I can only give out ideas on the side. You still need to do the planning for the company later. I know nothing about it. I can't be the chairman. It's good to be a shareholder." Zhang Chen refused to be the chairman, so Xiaofang discussed with him that it would be better to let sister Lu Yun be the chairman. "I also need to avoid suspicion, which will be beneficial to attracting subsequent investors." Zhang Chen agreed. He said that it would be best if Lu Yun was willing to become the chairman. "I'll convince her," Xiaofang said. Xiaofang asked Lu Yun to come to Hangzhou. When Lu Yun arrived, Xiaofang told her the matter. Lu Yun herself was an investor. She understood why it was arranged like this. She said, "Yes, then I will be the chairman, but I want to arrange for someone to come over." "That's how it should be," Xiaofang said. Lu Yun said, "Yes, that's it." The general manager of Hangcheng Fanhua Network Technology Co., Limited is Qian. Wenwen is the vice president in charge of market development and podcast training, Xiao is the vice president in charge of administration, and Guanliang is the technical director. Lu Yun returned to Shanghai and sat down in her office. She picked up the phone on the table and called Ren Rongrong and asked her to come over. When Ren Rongrong arrived, Lu Yun said to her, "I have decided to send you to Hangzhou. Hangcheng Fanhua Network Technology Co., Limited is still a start-up small business, but the future prospects are very good. I value this area very much and decided to send you to Hangzhou. You go and be the financial director." Before Ren Rongrong had time to speak, Lu Yun said, "Get ready to hand over tomorrow and go to Hangzhou to take office the day after tomorrow." At this point, even if Ren Rongrong disagreed, she had to agree. She said, "Yes, I understand, Mr. Lu." Watching the office door close gently behind Ren Rongrong, Lu Yun breathed a sigh of relief. A thunderbolt was finally safely eliminated. Thank you ZDLM001 for the tip. Thank you ZDLM001, LCS0001, Book Friends 201911021135467118, Book Friends 202011091113511923, Book Friends 202007111211355567, Xiaoao, Major 7, Empty, Crabs That Do Not Eat Insects, Tamagotchi, Book Friends 201805121221105118, Books Friend 201701052133115338's monthly ticket. Thanks for all the votes and reading. I wish you all good health.